I'm Rebecca Cook, and we're going to do a hip flexor release exercise. This again is one of my favorites from Eric Franklin and the Franklin Method, and he shares this on his channel as well. You can use one of two different kinds of balls, or you can even just start out with something like a towel. Everyone starts at a different place, and if you start having any sort of low back pain or hip pain, you want to go with a smaller ball. So typically I will use either one of these inflated Pilates balls or two of them underneath my pelvis, but I do also like using something like this. This is a 1 pound ball that has sand in it, and it still gives me a little height. So I'm going to show you with these smaller balls what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and lie down on the mat, and then you're going to lift your hips, and you're going to place these balls on either side of your sacrum. If you don't know what your sacrum is, it's a triangular shaped bone right underneath your lower lumbar. So you'll kind of feel it on the bottom of your pelvis, and you're just going to place those balls right next to each other, and just make sure that you're not, like, if I had the balls on my lower lumbar, that's how my back would be. My pelvis would be down on the floor. So I have to move them lower, right on either side of the sacrum, and I feel nice and secure there, okay? So what we're gonna do, we'll just start with our arms next to our side, our feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna start with the right leg by just pulling the leg in. Here we are activating the hip flexor, shortening it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reach our leg really long. Feel like our energy is reaching out and away from our body. And then we're going to bring it in and reach it out. This time I want you to let the leg drop if that's available to you, and you're just going to slide it back in. You're going to pick up your leg in towards you. You're going to reach out straight, bring it down, and slowly bring it in. See if you can do this and think of it like a well-oiled machine. So there's just gears in that hip, and they're just turning under, turning this way, and then the gear turns the other way and rotates and comes in. There's just freedom in this movement. Okay, so you can do about 4 to 6 of those and bring the leg back in. Now we're going to do it on the left leg. Same thing. Notice how your leg feels at first as it reaches. Bring that leg in. Reaches and down. Slide it in. See if you cannot make any stops along the way. The movement just continues from one place to the next. Notice how your other leg feels as it just stabilizes. And bring that back to center. So again, 4 to 6 times if that feels sufficient to you. Now we'll start with the right leg again. We're going to bring that leg up and in. We're going to elongate it this time. Reach in as far away as we can towards the floor, and then back in. So we're making this big, in ballet it's called développé, up, and reach. I'm pointing my foot, but you can just relax the foot if you would like. You can just have a relaxed foot. Reach. You're feeling that extension, release of the hip flexor. And last one we'll do. Very nice. Do you notice with that exercise how my pelvis is going from a posterior tilt to an anterior tilt? It's kind of rocking back and forth just naturally as you're going from flexion to extension. Extend the leg up and reach. too long. You might find that you have some imbalances from one hip flexor to the other. I mentioned in another video that I have 4 children, and I remember carrying my kids when I was younger, and I always carried them on my right side, so my right hip flexor is much tighter than my left hip flexor. You may find that you want to do a little bit of extra work on that tight side to release it. So you might start on the tighter side first, go to the looser side, and then come back to the tighter side again. And bring that back in. If you're a Pilates teacher, you know that sometimes we don't count, and so I think that was 4. We're gonna go ahead, and if this is available to you, I want you to go ahead and elongate your legs. You might only be able to elongate them this much. That's okay. See if you can straighten them all the way and just relax here. You have to kind of turn the tailbone under just a little bit to protect your back. Then if you can, you're just going to release them. You can even turn them out a little bit and relax here. Now as you relax, I want you to imagine that you have a creek or a brook coming up from behind you, and the water is moving behind you, up over your shoulders, and then it moves through your body. And then when it gets to your hips, it just falls off into a waterfall. The water never goes above your head as you relax there. Take deep, deep breaths. Maybe you like that the water is warm. Maybe you prefer cold water, whatever it is. It just rushes and rushes through your body. Now imagine that you're laying back into a couch and just let the back, the skin of your back, the muscles in your back just relax in towards the mat behind you. When you're done there, you're going to pull your legs slowly one at a time underneath you. Get them a little bit closer to you. Lift up your hips and release those balls out from under your pelvis. When you sit up and you stand up, you're going to feel really loose, really good through the whole front side of your body. I hope you enjoyed that hip release exercise. Again, I'm Rebecca Cook. Thank you for joining me.